Hello, everyone, and welcome to our Make Your Dreams Your Reality Google Hangout. I'm so grateful to have you all here. My name is Niyc Pidgeon, and I am founder and creator of nicpidgeon.com, optimalu.com, and also the Upgrade Your Success online coaching program. And I help female entrepreneurs, women in business, coaches to overcome their perceived limits, to break through their barriers, and to really create their fullest and thriving life. So today I'm joined by two amazing female entrepreneurs. The last time I actually did a Google Hangout, I was talking to Richard Branson and Elon Musk. And this time I'm joined by two ladies that are hot on their heels. So we've got Natalie Diver of Oh My Glow Detox, and also Rebecca Chambers, who is a health entrepreneur who's been running her business whilst raising her family. So the way that today is going to work is I'm going to tell you a little bit about me, and then I'm going to be handing over to the girls so they can tell you their story, and we can kind of ask questions, find a little bit more about what it is that makes them thrive in life, what they love about their business, what they think their secrets to success is, and what really keeps them motivated and inspired. So I hope you've all got your cups of tea ready. I hope you're all sat down.
Hello everyone.
If you have got some headphones, bear with me one moment. So if you have got headphones, then do pop them in now, because it'll be a lot easier for you to listen using your headphones. You'll get a better experience. If you do have any questions, then you can pop them into the chat box at the side, and we will be answering them as we go along. So first of all, I'm going to tell you a little bit about me. So my story starts way back in when I was 12 at school, and I actually got bullied really badly at school. And this was quite a defining experience for me. I didn't realize it at the time, but I do realize it now. I changed school when I was 12 and went into a different school, was really hardworking, always thrived academically, loved doing my work, loved working really hard, and went on to get 2 scholarships to go to university to study mechanical and automotive engineering. So that was my career path sorted. And then back in 2005, I moved over to Australia for 6 months with my boyfriend, who was playing professional cricket at the time. And when we were over there, he was seeing a sports psychologist. And one of the things that I remember that really, really stands out for me is that this sports psychologist told him not to focus on the fielders when he's into bat, but to look for the gaps in between the fielders instead. Now, this really sparked something for me, and I think it's something that we can apply to wider life. So we look for the opportunities in life rather than focusing on the obstacles. So I'm a positive psychologist, and I'm also a coach. And positive psychology, if you don't know, is the science of happiness and the science of optimal functioning and how communities, businesses, and individuals thrive. So I look at what goes right with the world rather than what's going wrong. So I help people to live their best lives. And I think by focusing on what we're strong at, what we're good at, we can get so much more out of life, and we can really create the fullest life that we love to live. So after I had been in Australia for this 6 months, I decided that I was going to completely change my career path, and I declined both of my places to study engineering, and I went on to study sports science with psychology instead. After that, I went on to study positive psychology, and I'd also trained to be a personal trainer during this time. And I've been so lucky to work within the field of positive psychology. It's an absolutely awesome thing to be able to do, to be able to help people to actually make the most of themselves and make the most of their lives. And it's also been a huge journey of personal growth for me as well. So when I'd graduated from my master's degree in positive psychology, I decided to set up my own business. So I'd had a little bit of a history with business as I was growing up. So I'd done a few businesses when I'd been at school, had a few ideas, and decided that this was the time to really launch my business. So I launched Optimal You, which is a community for positive lifestyle change that helps people to thrive across the world with the aim of really spreading health and happiness. So I launched my business, and through Optimal You, we run live events. We run workshops, and We also retail green juice products, and I do my coaching as well. So the business has progressed. I'm originally from the UK, if you can't tell. I'm currently in New Zealand at the moment, so I'm doing some workshops and talks over here, and I'm also writing my first book as well. So that's a little bit about me. I'm going to now ask Natalie to share her story with us, and then we're going to go on to talk through a few different questions as well. So Natalie, welcome to the Hangout. It's absolutely awesome to have you here.
Thank you for having me. Yeah, so hi everyone, my name's Natalie, and I'm 23. So my business is called Oh My Glow, and it's a superfood detox powder. It's a supplement that you take every morning, and it does what it says. It helps you get the glow, it detoxes your body, it completely boosts your energy, gets you on track with all your healthy habits. It's great for your skin. It's just the best product in my eyes. I only actually launched this product just under 3 months ago. It's been in the works for quite a long time, but we've only actually just launched it. And we've had such a great response in the last, in the first 2 weeks of launching, we'd shipped to over 20 countries. We'd spent not a penny on marketing. We just did all of this through social media. And the hype just keeps growing and growing. We're now having celebrities taking the powder. They're ready to put pictures online. It's just going from strength to strength. But actually, from where I was a year ago, this is just, where I was 6 months ago, this is just a complete turnaround. Because I've always kind of known that I was an entrepreneur from being 2-3-year-old. It's what I've always said. I'm going to have my own beauty salon. I'm going to have my own shop. I always knew I was going to be my own boss somehow. And that's kind of the way my family have always seen me. I'm going to be my own boss. And so I had some part-time jobs during school and things, and then I went to uni, and I was still working for the people, and I'd never really thought, okay, now's the time to set up a business. And at university over 4 years, I won around 20 awards, a lot of them big national awards, and they were all for entrepreneurship. And I was lucky enough to pitch to Richard Branson. I was on TV for the BBC in a business competition, and I did so much stuff around entrepreneurship, but I still didn't have my own business. And so as the end of university was approaching, I was approached by a consultancy firm who offered me a job. And at the time, that's what I thought I would have to do. I thought that's the route I should take. This job sounded incredible. It sounded like something I'd really enjoy. It would mean that I moved down to London and really get started on the graduate ladder. So the job was meant to start a year after I finished. So in that time, I thought, okay, I'm gonna start traveling the world. That's kind of my passion, is traveling. And my first stop was LA, and I ended up living there for 6 months. And while I was there, I've always been interested in health and fitness, but when I was there, I was so inspired by everything and everyone I saw. And it started to churn in my mind, okay, I'd love to be an entrepreneur and have a product similar to what I can see here. But there was something just held me back, and I don't know what it was. And then all of a sudden, I met my current business partner, and it was just like meeting my twin. He was exactly the same, and he was just saying the exact same things. I'd love to have a business. I'd love to be in this industry. And so we were like, okay, like let's talk ideas. Have you got any ideas? And we had this incredible idea, and we both just started working on it. It was like we mentioned it, and an hour later we were whipping out the MacBooks and writing up a business plan, and it all happened really fast, and we didn't even know each other, but we kind of, something clicked in my head, and I thought this is what I need to be doing. So yeah, I was there for 6 months and really had time to work on the idea, and then I came home, I registered the business, I got some funding, and I was really kind of on board to make it work. And I rationalized in my mind, okay, make this work before you have to go to the London job, and if it's working, then give the job up. If it's not, then you should go to the job. So that was the idea, and I thought, while I'm still doing it, I still want to travel. So I moved over to France and continued to work on the idea. And they're right what they say in business. They say, if you think it'll take X amount of time, double it at least, because it's going to take so much longer than you think. And I kept saying to myself, no, I'm so organized, I've got my goals, I'm going to have it done on time. And so my my corporate job was kind of approaching within weeks, and I was thinking, what on earth am I going to do? There's this amazing opportunity, but I want to have my own business. And I lost sleep for weeks just thinking, what on earth is going to happen, because this business isn't going to be ready to launch for at least another couple of months. And then I finally just decided to take the plunge. I thought, you know what, I'm 23, what have I got to lose? And it was actually in a session with Niyc. She sat down and said to me, okay, if you don't take this job and you set your own business up, in a year's time, if it fails, what position will you be in? And I said, well, I'll be in the same position I am in now. And she said, well, what does that tell you? Are you happy? And I said, well, yeah, I'm quite happy in this position. And she said, well, go for it. And that's the day I thought, yeah, I'm going to go for it. And I called up the company and I said, right now, this isn't the right time. I'm going to launch the business. Yeah, and it was just the best thing I've done. The business has gone from strength to strength. We've got some really, really good ideas, and it's moving forward. And it just something clicked in my mind, and I thought, yeah, it's time to take the plunge. And I'm so glad I did, because right now I'm living my dream. I'm traveling a lot, which is what I love to do. I have loads of freedom, and I get to work on my own project, which is something I'm so interested in. So yeah, thanks, Niyc.
You're so welcome. I'm so proud of you as well. I remember that conversation. I'm a huge fan of Oh My Glow as well. I actually use Oh My Glow myself, and I completely vouch for the product. I love it. So Bex, I want you to tell everybody a little bit more about you, and then we'll go into the questions after that. So Bex, where are you at the moment?
I am sunning not actually sunning myself right now, as you can see it's night time, but I am in Portugal
Awesome.
on holiday. So yes, having a lovely time, but it's nice to take a little bit of time out and catch up with all you guys. So yeah, so my name's Rebecca Chambers. I have been building a successful network marketing business from home around my family for the last 2 years. My background is I've got a degree in sports science with psychology, and I'm also a qualified sports massage therapist. After I gave birth to my second son, I just reassessed my priorities, and I just wanted to be that full-time mum at home, having as much quality time as I could with my 2 children. But I didn't want to sacrifice any career ambitions that I had either. So I just sort of started researching into lots of different options and what I could do that would basically work perfectly for my lifestyle. And I decided that being my own boss was really the only way I could have as much flexibility as I wanted. So as I say, I did a lot of different research, and I came across one company in particular, which I thought sort of stayed true to my background in health and wellness, and also in my passion, which is to help people. So I get to help people every single day with both their health and their wealth, which I think is just amazing. But most importantly, it gives me the flexibility to do this whilst around my most important job, which has been mummy to my 2 boys, who are, well, one of my boys actually turns 3 tomorrow, and my eldest is 5. So I got to work, and basically in 2 years, so as I say, I've been working it for 2 years, it's just given me everything I wanted. So I'm a full-time mum. I get to take both my boys to school. I get to attend sports days, school assemblies, etc., etc. I can be there if they're poorly, anything like that. I have the most amazing bond with my 2 boys because we're literally together 24/7. But I am also earning a generous full-time wage, and I'm challenging myself career-wise.
Oh, she's just cut off.
We'll see if Bex comes back. So Natalie, while we're waiting for Bex to come back, I'm going to start with your questions.
Okay.
I'd like to ask you, what do you think the best thing about being a female entrepreneur is?
For me, being an entrepreneur, the best thing is freedom, and that's freedom that I can travel, freedom that I can work from anywhere, freedom that I can decide how my day is going to look, but also freedom to grow. So I don't want to be held back by any glass ceiling or anyone kind of telling me when I can progress. I know if I work, then I can progress.
Yeah.
I think we've got Bex back as well, so if you want to just switch over, I can answer my questions later.
Hello, Bex.
Sorry.
Welcome back. It's absolutely fine, no worries.
Where did I get to?
So you're just talking about Freddie and Finley and about how you love spending time with them, how your bond's so much stronger now with them.
Yeah, so I do feel I'll just finish off and let Natalie answer her question. So basically I just feel like I've got the best of both worlds. So I'm a full-time mum, I've got an amazing bond with my boys, but I'm also earning a generous full-time wage. In fact, within the next couple of months I'm set to become a six-figure income earner, and all this is built up on my terms, working around my family, and first and foremost my family and my boys come first. So the future's really, really exciting, and I now am in an amazing position where I actually get to help and coach others to do exactly the same, which is just amazing.
Awesome. I'm so proud of you as well. So how many hours are you actually working at the minute, Bex?
It does vary week to week because my boys come first, so it depends what their schedule is. At the minute, obviously, it's school holidays, so I'm not able to put as much time in. But I would say in an average week, anywhere between sort of 10-15 hours is probably what I work.
Amazing. 6 figures and 10 to 15 hours.
That's crazy.
Brilliant.
That's amazing.
Okay, so I've just asked Natalie what the best thing about being a female entrepreneur is. So what would you say in answer to that question?
I would say the fact that I really feel like I've got it all. I feel like I haven't had to make that choice between having and raising a family or between a career. I found an option that works where I can, as I say, have it all. So I've got that. I've got my babies, I bring them up, I'm a full-time mum, and I've got an amazing bond with them, but yet I'm still able to push my business, push my career ambitions, and provide for my family at the same time. The other thing that I love is I feel within female entrepreneurs there's like a real sort of sisterhood sort of power bond. Like I feel like it's really a supportive place to be, and I think instead of sort of getting down on each other, I think women are like bigging each other up and backing each other up, and it's actually a really positive movement to be a part of.
Absolutely, I absolutely agree with that, and I can see for both of you, as you have grown within your businesses, the people that you inspire, the people that you are able to connect with, interact with, and to help is absolutely amazing, because as a female entrepreneur, you almost develop as a mentor to other female entrepreneurs as well. And I know, Natalie, you've done so much work within the Entrepreneurs Society that you work with. I know, Bex, you're coaching and you're mentoring as well. And then we've worked within universities, going in to be able to speak to people, to help people that are interested in becoming entrepreneurs, talking to other people that maybe are struggling, or maybe just like you say, want that kind of community and want that kind of connection, friendship and support. And it's all there as a female entrepreneur, and it's absolutely fantastic that we do have that network and we do have that support, and we're able to bring kind of a different layer to each other to really help each other out. So Natalie, I know you mentioned that you have freedom as one of your key values. In terms of providing value to the world, how do you believe that your business does that?
I think Oh My Glow does this in two ways. So first of all, we allow women to feel confident, you know, if they're having problems with their weight, or they're not sure how they should be eating, or how they should be kind of working out, problems with their skin, whatever it is, they can buy the product, they can download guides. We have, I think, about 200 pages worth of free content available. And the idea is that we inspire women to be their happiest self. So we're not the kind of business that is a detox company that says, you know, take this product, lose 2 stone, be skinny. We never use the word skinny, and we never will. So whatever makes women confident and feel happy, then that's what we want to do. And, you know, it goes without saying, if you are eating well and you are working out, you are going to be healthier and you are going to be happier. And that's just what we want to do. We want to give women the tools to do that, and also give them a product which is going to make them feel so motivated and ready to go, as well as doing some good on the inside. And I think that really inspires me a lot. I'm such a feminist, just like what Bex was saying, and it's just so nice to be part of this female community and be able to kind of give something that I think I could add value with.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. So when we ran a very similar live event a few months ago called Live Your Passion, and when we were chatting, I know Natalie, you presented there as well, and we were chatting about what actually drives people as entrepreneurs, what it is, what is the fundamental underlying reason that we do this, why do we do this? And so many of the speakers there were 6 or 7 speakers that we had for the event, and every single person in one way or another said and communicated that it was so important for them to be able to make their clients, their customers, and the people that they interact with have more happiness within their lives. And I think that is so, so important. So the 3 of us all work within health-based businesses. So mine is obviously psychological health as well as physical health as well, because I truly believe that psychology isn't a neck-up discipline anymore. It's to do with the whole body and the whole self. So focusing on what you can actually bring to your clients and what you can add to the world is so important, and something that can benefit so many other people in a wider kind of circle as well. So Bex, with this in mind, what would you say that your big why is?
100% my boys.
Yeah.
That was predictable. But not just, as I say, yes, my whole world revolves around them, but it's about providing them with an amazing life and providing us as a family with what I call true freedom, i.e. flexibility and time, and be able to make our own choices. You know, my boys are now I've through my company, I have qualified for global travel incentives, and my boys are getting to travel the world with me, all expenses paid, 5-star, doing things, you know, that just wouldn't have been possible without this business. Just the opportunities that are gonna be given to them. Also, my income is completely willable, and as a mum, I don't think there's any sort of greater feeling than to know that long after I've gone, my boys are completely cared for life.
Yeah.
My why and what makes me sort of get out of bed an hour earlier and stay up an hour later is them. Selfishly as well, I think what I have realised is I'm quite competitive, but with myself. And as I mentioned before, my fiancé is a professional rugby player, so my boys have grown up watching Dad on the TV, going to watch Dad play games and things. And actually, I wanted them to be proud of Mummy as well, and proud of something that I've done. So I don't know if that is selfish or not or what, but that I must admit, that does drive me a little bit. I want to make them proud of me. Yeah.
So that's a big motivator for you, obviously, to be able to provide the lifestyle for your boys and to support them and to bring them up in the way that you want to bring them up. In terms of, so that's your motivator. What would you say the value that you create through your business is?
So every day I help support people with both their health and their wealth. With their health, my business, what underpins my business is a huge range of natural health products. So just to give a couple of examples, like completely close to my heart, my eldest son was hospitalised at 6 weeks with severe constipation. I started giving him one of my aloe vera drinking gels each morning. Before this, had been on medication. As I say, he's now 5, so for his whole life, for 5 years, he'd been on medication every single day. Within a couple of months of taking this aloe vera drinking gel daily, he's now completely off his medication. So it's little things like that. I've had a client of mine who's become quite a good friend, who undertook one of our cleanses, and she'd been trying for a baby for ages and ages and ages. I'm not saying it's 100% down to the cleanse, but I do feel that getting your body back in balance and eliminating toxins and things can really help. And just within weeks of finishing her cleanse, she's now fallen pregnant. And it's all just things like this, just being able to help people. On the flip side of helping people with their wealth, I really thrive on supporting others within my team. So to give you an example there, one of my close friends within my team has actually just handed her notice in. She's been a really leading teacher, top end, head of year sort of type role, senior role within teaching, and she's just actually handed a notice in and isn't going back in September. She's a single mum, and it just means that she can get that quality time back with her girls. So it's things like that, when you actually see that your help and support and your belief in others is actually helping them make a change within their lives, for the complete benefit to them. There's just no greater feeling.
Absolutely, and I think the freedom and the flexibility that you talk about is something that is so big for us as female entrepreneurs. It means that Natalie can go and do the traveling that she wants to do. So I wasn't sure whether she was going to be from Paris today or whether she was going to be in the UK. Then it allows, I can work from my laptop. I've been in Australia for a month. I'm now in New Zealand. It's just almost getting light here. So
getting dark here now.
Yeah,
look at me.
Light here. So we're across 3 different time zones. So Natalie, I'm going to come back to you, and I want to ask you, with Oh My Glow, how do you actually get your message across to your audience? How do you advertise? How do you connect with the people that you want to connect with?
Right now we use nothing but social media. We use Facebook and Instagram to promote. We've never done any PR yet. That's going to come, but we haven't even had a chance. We haven't done any kind of stalls. We haven't spoke at events or anything. We've literally just sat with the laptop and just social media it all. And I'm just the biggest advocate ever of Facebook and Instagram selling. I just think it's the best way to get to know your customers, to get your customers to trust you, and then be able to sell them products that they're going to like. Because the thing is, on Facebook and Instagram, you can target the exact people you want to target, and you can educate them through images, through blog posts, through words, and it's just a really nice way to build up long-term trust. So yeah, we've just done it all through social media, and we're so grateful that we can do that. It's obviously meant that we've spent nothing on marketing, which has meant that we can spend a lot more on making the product right. So we've not had to kind of cut down any expenses on the product, because we've been able to just put the marketing cost aside. So yeah, that's how we get the word out.
Brilliant. So I know social media is a huge part of my business as well, and I know we've had these discussions and chats before on what works and what doesn't work. For me, in the UK, word of mouth was a huge thing as well. Bex, what would you say works well for your business?
I do agree with Natalie. I do use social media a lot, but what I tend to do, and I know this is what Natalie does as well, it's via lifestyle posts. It's not spamming, it's not throwing products down people's throats. It's it's showcasing my lifestyle, and that intrigues people, and people, I think, feel they know a bit more about me, and you can build a relationship with people. But what I largely build my business on is literally good old-fashioned relationships, getting out there and actually speaking to people face to face. I've never paid for any advertising. I actually, in fact, don't even own a business card. But that's probably quite bad. I literally speak to people. I get out there. It's about building relationships and building rapport, and just exactly what Natalie said. Then people trust in you, and equally they tell you a little bit about them, so you know that you can recommend something that is actually genuinely really going to help them.
Yeah, absolutely. So it's so important to work out what your clients are struggling with, what they're finding difficult, the problems that they've got, so you can actually offer a genuine solution to them. we're all using social media, and Natalie, you are an absolute social media whiz. So can you give us some top tips for social media that the people watching at home might be able to use for their businesses or even their personal accounts as well?
Yeah, I absolutely love social media. So if anyone watching isn't following me, my Instagram is @natalie.diver, so make sure you follow. My number one tip is, whether it's personal or business, define your values. So what makes people want to follow you? I always say with Instagram, when someone clicks on your Instagram profile, they should know within the first 6 pictures what value they're going to get from following you. And just like Bex was saying, showing lifestyle pictures, that's kind of my vibe, because I'm always traveling or, you know, eating healthily and all that, and that's what I like to share with people, so they know that when they follow me, it's kind of going to be pictures from my travels, it's going to be what I'm eating, what my workout for the day is, all of that kind of thing. If you click on another account that is, you know, for detoxing, you're going to find all of these recipes suitable for detoxing. So you think, okay, I'm interested in this, I'm going to follow. But I think sometimes some accounts can kind of get the message a little bit mixed up. So you can go on their account and you can be hit with kind of 6 different vibes, and you're like, wait a minute, what are they, what do they do, like, what am I going to get from following them, why should I be following them? And it can be something just as small as good pictures. You want to follow for good pictures. And what I also say, if you have a picture-based account, is follow a theme. So don't just post, you know, dark pictures, light pictures, bright pictures, pastel pictures. I think, you know, try and make it look nice, because at the end of the day, Instagram is a bit of an art, and, you know, pictures are art, and the way you portray them is very arty. And I'd say my second tip is interact with people. You know, get to know your followers and get to know the people that you're following. With a business, find out what kind of people are following you and find out why. So you only find this out by interacting with them. Yeah, so that's my ultimate tip.
Brilliant, thank you. I think what both of you have conveyed is the importance of creating value first. So rather than going in for a hard sell for your products or for your business experience, it's really all about connecting with people first, building these relationships, giving people a feel of what you do. And I know that is so important. It's an excellent tip for within business. So Bex, I'd like to ask you, I know you've mentioned your big motivators as being your boys and also being the freedom and flexibility. Who would you say inspires you? So who do you use as your inspiration?
I think, as you've said there, obviously my boys are why I do it, and I think that probably my mum and dad inspire me for the family values that they instilled when I was growing up. I think because my mum was always there for me, and you know, I came from a loving family and all that type of thing. That's what I want to have with my boys. I've come from a very close-knit family. Within business, I've got loads of people inspire me all the time, daily. You two inspire me. But one person in particular that works within the same industry that I do, she's actually a really good friend of mine, and within the company that I run my business like under the umbrella of, she's actually #1 in the UK. And she's a single mum, she's got 2 children, and I look to her because I look to her because she inspires me for great ideas and to see, you know, what she does. But equally, I look at her and I don't mean this to sound conceited anyway, but I think she hasn't got anything that I haven't got, and instead of me having any sort of jealousy or any feelings like that over sort of successful females, for me it does the complete opposite. It makes me think, I want to be like that, I can be like that, there's no reason why I can't achieve what they're achieving. And I find that sort of hanging around successful people, being with them, interacting with them, really helps push me on in my business as well.
Yeah, absolutely. And what you'll find is that as you connect with more positive people, as you surround yourself by people that are successful, people that are doing great things, it's going to lift you up. It's going to make you step up your game. And there's plenty in the world for everybody. as we actually increase, we expand. What's possible is constantly expanding. So as you're progressing and stepping up, there's more available to you. And it means there's more available to everybody else as well, because it means that you're actually inspiring other people by your successes. So just as you've been inspired yourself, it's happening the other way around at the same time as well. I know that my big inspirations have been people like Richard Branson and Elon Musk, Tony Robbins, who's an amazing speaker, coach. And I really look to those people to kind of learn what they've done and see if I can take any tips from them and see if I can help people in the way that they've helped people and approach business from the kind of the same angle, so focusing on happiness, focusing on getting out there and doing it, but also on providing value, not being scared of failure, and constantly improving as well. So Natalie, who would you say is your big inspiration? Who inspires you?
Yeah, kind of exactly what you two have just said. The people that inspire me are kind of the people with the lifestyles that I think would be kind of my ideal lifestyle. So they travel the world and they work from their laptop. And I follow so many of them on Instagram and on blogs and online, because the business that I have at the moment, I love it, and I know that when it expands, I can work from my laptop. And then looking kind of 5 years down the line, I want to have multiple businesses, and I want to be running this kind of online empire just from my laptop. And I want to be able to travel while I'm doing that. So I'm always looking to these people to see, okay, how did she get there? What steps do I need to take in the meantime to get there? And yeah, it's the same thing. I just can't understand when women get jealous of other women, because I just think, you know, you can have that, you can have it all. It's just your mindset, and there's always enough for everyone. And so it's so nice just to look at someone and see, oh my God, yeah, they've got that. Okay, so I can get there. How can I get there? And you'll also find the people that inspire you, often if you speak to them, they're so happy to give you advice and help you as well. And so, yeah, people like that, and I want to help and inspire female entrepreneurs in the future, you know, when I have successful businesses. So, yeah, it's just people with the lifestyle that I want.
Yeah, absolutely. And what you'll probably find is that you've both mentioned that you like to help people. So whilst I'm a coach and I do engage in formal coaching relationships with people, you guys are probably doing it on an informal basis anyway. And you're probably finding that you're getting coached by other people yourself. So the people that you look up to and the people that you connect with and engage with, they're almost, without knowing it, providing a mentorship and a coaching relationship with you as well. And I know that I've been helped so much by my coaches along the way. And it's just having that other person to kind of use as this point of contact to go to when you're missing the kind of the link in between where you are now and where you want to be, and really opening up your mindset and trying to fill in the gaps and fill in the steps along the way. It can be so beneficial. So I know you both work within the health industry. What would you say the role of fitness is within your life? So Natalie, first of all.
The role of fitness for me is huge. Like, I really value investing in myself and because I always think, you know, my business is me, and if I'm not my best self, then my business will never be its best self. So every single day, I'm lucky that I do run a business, because I make time every single day to go to the gym and do different kind of exercise classes, all of that kind of thing. And I feel so good after doing it, and I know if I skip workouts, my energy levels aren't the same, and I generally don't feel kind of as motivated as I normally would. And I think especially early stage, there are a lot of frustrations in an early stage business, and if I didn't have the outlet of the gym, I think I'd really struggle, because there have been times when I've been so stressed and so anxious, times when you Niyc, have really helped me out, and fitness has been a massive part of overcoming that. And just one more thing is, it helps you it helps you in the mindset of believing you can achieve anything. And I know with myself in yoga, I can look at a pose and think, I will never be able to do that. And then I'll get there and I'm like, okay, yeah, hard work. And you get there, like whatever looks impossible on the surface, you've got inside you to make it happen. And it's all about, you know, hard work. And I think fitness is a really big part of getting there.
Absolutely. So my fitness journey it started way back when I got bullied, because I used to get bullied within PE. So I had a really negative relationship with fitness and with exercise and physical activity. And I've then gone on to build a whole career in it. So it's almost like from what hurt me, I'm able to now help other people by becoming an expert within it. So my background is 10 years as a personal trainer. So within my daily routine, fitness is a big thing for me. So I'll always start my day with firstly by doing my gratitude and by saying that I'm grateful for my day and for the people and the experiences that I have within it. I will then do a meditation, and I will have my aloe vera, and I'll have my Oh My Glow in the morning for my energy. I'll then go and do my workout. So I'll either do a walk or I'll do a run. So running's been a huge part of my life. Or I will go to the gym. Then I'll come back and I'll have my breakfast, which I'll make with the green vibrants that we sell through Optimal You, usually a quinoa bowl with berries, nut butter, and some almond milk as well. And that's a really, really important part of my day and an important part of my life, to actually set myself up in the best way so that I can then go on and serve my clients and serve the women that I work with to the highest level and for the highest good. So Bex, what would you say the role of fitness is within your life, and do you have a morning routine that you stick to?
Yeah, it's funny because I probably echo exactly what you two have said. I feel that I owe it to my team that I support, and to my customers, to be the best version of me that I can be. So I daily I work on my mindset every single day. I've got a blueprint at the minute that I work on, and I also exercise every single day. With the fact that I'm a full-time mum, this isn't always at the gym, sometimes it can be at home, but I always do some sort of workout. And I think if you've got a healthy mind and a healthy body, you're in a much better sort of position, and your outlook is a lot better. It's all about as Natalie said, investing in yourself and being the best version of you that you can be positive, and I just feel that you can then attack the day better.
Yeah.
So without fail, my mindset and my exercise are a massive part of my daily routine.
Yeah, it's a non-negotiable, really, certainly for me, and I know for you guys as well. It's something that can expand your level of awareness, your mental processing. And Richard Branson actually said, when he was asked in an interview what one tip he would give to increase personal productivity, his answer was that he would work out. And he said that he gets 4 extra productive hours, focused business hours within his day when he works out in the morning. So that's information coming from the top. So what would you say in terms of, so we've talked a lot about what's going well, what you enjoy doing, what's important to you. What about the things that you struggle with? So when I coach women and I work with women, whether it's in a group coaching environment, one-to-one, whether it's within a talk, or whether it's connecting over email or social media, when I find out what struggles people are dealing with, it comes down to probably a handful of categories. So I'd say the things that people struggle with the most is self-confidence, energy, time, money, and motivation, and then the low mood and happiness as well. So for you, Natalie, what would you say that, where do you struggle, and what do you actually do, and what do you use to overcome this struggle?
Yeah, my struggle is hands down, it's time. You know, I feel like I need 40 hours in a day, not a week. But actually, just following on from what you said earlier, what I would sometimes do if I had a crazy day is forget to have time for myself. And working with you, Nick, you've really taught me how bad that is and how that should never be my mindset. And now every single morning, no matter how hectic my day looks, I sit down and I make my morning a really important part of my day. I have a really good breakfast. You know, I work on my mindset, I work on what I want to achieve that day, and I really get into the right mindset. And you know what, some days, if I'm not in the right mindset and I know I'm not going to be productive, I'll give myself a bit more time and I'll go and do something, you know, like I'll go and do a yoga session or a workout session, and I'll forgive myself for not having the time.
Yeah.
And I think that's something I've really learned to do. And aside from that, I kind of create more time for myself by organizing. And so what I do is I organize my week, what I need to complete that week, and I break my days down and I break the chunks of my day down. So I know that on certain times I'm going to get this done. So, you know, if someone's pestering me for something to be done, I know it's not urgent and I know it can wait till the time that I'm going to do it. And I kind of let it go and I don't let it sit on my mind. And if I'm going to bed feeling stressed now, what I'll do is I'll write down what I'm going to work on tomorrow and I'll get all that out there and I can let it go. And I think, yeah, you just have to find ways to create more time, and that's create more time in your day to work, but create more time in the day for yourself as well.
Yeah, absolutely. That is huge. And I think the idea of batching time and blocking certain blocks of time out to do certain activities really, really helps. And also getting out of this mindset of telling yourself all the time that you don't have any time. So I know I used to do this a while ago, and someone would say, "Oh, how are you, Nick?" And I'd say, "Oh, I'm good. I'm just so busy. I'm so overwhelmed." And you almost create this feeling for yourself where you're telling yourself that you're so busy and so overwhelmed and so tired all the time that you're going to actually create that for yourself. So you need to change the internal dialogue that's going on. You need to make sure that you're approaching things in a positive manner, making space for yourself, like you said, because as female entrepreneurs, the tendency is to be incredibly driven, incredibly hardworking, to always want to push yourself to the max. But there's a fine line between pushing yourself enough to get things done and pushing yourself too much that you're actually doing yourself harm. And what you'll find is that if you can take time out for yourself to have a nap, to care for yourself, to go for a massage, to go to the gym, you'll actually get more done because you're in a better frame of mind, you're not completely drained, and things flow better. When you're not pushing them so hard, you actually allow the positive things in to flow and to go well. So Bex, what would you say is your major struggle, or the struggles that you've come across the most?
It's funny, I would say time, and for pretty much exactly what you two have said.
Yeah.
So for me, you know, I do have a hectic lifestyle, but what I do is I literally diarise everything. So what I feel is if it goes in my diary, I can then let it go in my head, so it's not taking up headspace. A bit like what Natalie was saying, like I know that if it's in there for, you know, 2-3 days, even a week or two's time, I know it's going to get done, and therefore I can forget about it, and it doesn't take up valuable thinking time and headspace.
Yeah.
I think is also key to make sure that you're actually spending time on income producing activity. So for example, with social media, I think a lot of people can get sucked into the dark hole of Facebook and spend hours on there, and they're not actually doing anything that's going to grow their business. They're just having a good old nosy, or you know what I mean. So I think you need to make sure that you're doing income producing activity, and you just need to be time smart. So I mean, we all run busy lives, whatever, you know, whether that's because you're traveling, because you've got children, because you're working another job, whatever it is, we all have busy lives, and it is just about being time smart. So yeah, I do exactly the same. I also massively prioritize things, and as long as the thing on the top of my priority list gets done, I can just move the next on to the next day, and it doesn't have, like Natalie was saying, I've just learned to let that go, so I don't beat myself up about not getting something done, or you know what I mean. I just make sure the time that I have got, I'm using wisely.
Yeah, absolutely. I think with the other things, so with self-confidence, for example, I see this a lot through my work. So people coming to me and saying that they want to do something, but they don't necessarily have the confidence to do it. And having the support network and actually engaging with other people that are doing similar things, or being open and being more vocal about what it is that you want to do. So if you're struggling with, you've got too much in your calendar and you think, oh, I don't really feel that I can meet the demands of that, be open, ask for help, talk it through with someone. Say that you're not feeling confident, and you will actually find as soon as you connect with someone else, you're able to open up more ideas of how you can actually structure things differently, how you can get things done. And just by sharing your fears and the things that you're not necessarily feeling as confident about, you can overcome them as well. So I've got some questions for you both in terms of other things that you use really to motivate and inspire you. So I want to talk a little bit about music, and music is a huge thing for me as a female entrepreneur. So when I'm feeling overwhelmed, when I'm feeling like maybe I'm getting trapped into this mindset of not having enough time, or maybe not being able to get the things done that I need doing, I've learned to take a step back, and using music is something that has helped me fantastically, because it completely changes your mood, it takes you out of the moment, and it means you can experience more positive emotions and more joy in your life, so that when you go back to whatever it is that you're working on, you're in a different space. So I use a lot of Kundalini yoga music. I've got quite an eclectic music taste, so it might be Fleetwood Mac, or it might be various different songs. It might be one of my friends, like songs that they've created. Have you guys got any specific music that you use to either psych yourself up before you go and do a presentation, or that you use to get yourself in the zone when you are training and working out? Is there anything that springs to mind for you, Natalie?
Well, I change my playlists up every week because I get so bored with everything, and it's normally just really upbeat, happy music. Normally what's in the chart is always on there, and I really like chilled house music for when I'm like actually doing business work. So a big part of my day is packing out orders sent to customers, and chilled house music just makes me feel really good, helps me get on with things, and then kind of zones me out a little bit and kind of brings my energy down to where it needs to be. And then, you know, when I'm ready for a workout, just put the charts on, have my playlist ready, and then I'm back in the zone. But I'm really funny because whenever I'm working hard on, I'm focusing on something, say on Photoshop, I can't listen to any music or I can't hear any sound, and I need complete silence. So I just have like different levels of music that I listen to.
Awesome. How about you, Bex?
Natalie, we are so similar.
Really?
we haven't set this up, I promise.
Yeah, I'm the same. If I'm actually working on something, I like to have no distraction. So I like to work in silence and have no distraction. But then I love happy, uplifting music. That's like for my time, you know, when I'm not focusing on work whatsoever. So like me and the boys always have a sing along and a dance off in the car and that type of thing, and it's my like release. I love listening to music when I work out, when I'm getting ready, all that type of thing, and it is always happy, uplifting, positive music. But then when I'm actually getting down to business, it's got to be silence.
yeah, absolutely. It just gives you that focus and the concentration that you need, doesn't it? Okay, so this is fast becoming my signature question. So when I did the hangout with Richard Branson and Elon Musk, I was lucky enough to have the opportunity to ask Elon what the hardest thing he had done in business was. And when I asked him this, he actually got very emotional and he had tears in his eyes, and there's now articles on the internet that said the girl that made the billionaire cry. So I know how emotional a journey business is, and I think that people think that business is one thing and then your personal and emotional life is another thing, but the two are so interlinked and so connected, and they're woven so tightly together that you really do need to look after both sides of the story. So what would you say, Natalie, is the hardest thing that you've had to do in business to date?
Without a doubt, it was giving up my my graduate job, because it was something that my parents expected of me. Well, in fact, all of my family expected me to go for it. My friends did, and I remember just even having to tell them that I decided this, and the decision wasn't made lightly. As I said, I lost sleep for weeks, and I couldn't get out of my mind. And just telling them, and I had certain people say to me, "You're making the wrong decision. Why would you do this?" And it was the most difficult period of my life. And it's just what you say, business is so emotional, and this did go into my business life, and I was kind of moving forward with a bit more of an emotional response. When I was having meetings, there was a lot more emotion coming through, and then that did translate into like a good motivation, because I thought, okay, you don't believe in me, you think I've done the wrong thing, let me prove you wrong. And so I thought, you know what, I have to make this a success now. Whatever my wage was going to be at this other firm, you need to find that wage, you need to double it, and you need to make sure that you've done the right thing and made the right decision and prove everyone wrong as well. But yeah, it wasn't easy at all, and it might sound like a small thing, but for me at the time, I couldn't see past it, and I couldn't see the big picture. I was just like, what's the next step, and how am I going to kind of take this step? Yeah, it was really difficult.
Yeah, it's really daunting, isn't it, as well? And I think just having the extra perspective and obviously having someone to talk us through with was something that really helped you. I think that we're faced with these decisions and it's almost like a fork in the road for us. So it can go one way or it can go another way. But when you build a business that is based on living your passion, by following what you love, by doing what makes you happy every single day, it's almost like your business is part of your life. It's not just your business. And for that reason, you have to make it work. And for that reason, it will work, because when you're so authentic and genuine about what you do and what you share with the world, that really comes across, and people are able to understand your message. They're able to understand the power in what you do and what you share. And for that reason, I am fully certain that Oh My Glow it's already huge. It's going to be even bigger, and very, very proud of the work that you're doing. So Beth, what would you say?
I would say the thing that I found the hardest was not getting the support from certain family members and certain friends that you just assumed would always be there for you. So when I started my business, don't get me wrong, I've got loads of people who are fantastically supportive, and they completely outweigh any negativity that I've had. But I have had the odd person that's laughed at me, that scoffed at me, that doesn't believe what I'm doing, and it does hurt, and it hurts when it's people that you thought were close to you. The type of person that I am, I would even if I didn't 100% agree with what somebody was doing, I would always say, well, they're trying to do something better for themselves and for their family, and for that reason they would always get my support. And I did find it quite hurtful that there was certain people within my, I would say, like, inner circle that didn't react like that. And at first I struggled to understand it, because I was like, I sort of felt, well, I'm not causing anyone harm. I'm doing something, as I say, to better myself and for my family and for my future. So I don't know how you could look at that, negatively whatsoever. But rather than let them they did get to me for a little bit. But then the more that I worked on my mindset and found, who I was, and got that belief in myself and belief in, I know where I'm going and I know what I'm going to achieve. And then the same as Natalie, then I just sort of thought, I'm going to prove you wrong, and that's exactly what I have done. And now I literally, it's like ducks off at ducks. I can't even speak. Water off a duck. So you don't actually have to be clever to do this. But no, now it's like water off a duck's back now, because I just think I'll be successful with or without your support. But I did, especially in the early days, I did find that hard.
Absolutely. And I think that starting up in business, you internalize a lot of things, and you do feel very isolated if people don't understand what you're doing, or people don't understand why you're doing it necessarily. But you need to remember that not everybody needs to understand what you're doing. It's your path, and you just need to be strong and secure on your path. If somebody has a problem with what you're doing, it's to do with them. It's to do with something that they're dealing with and something that's coming up for them rather than for you. So amazing what you're both doing. I'd like to know, just to round off, what's next for Natalie Diver and Rebecca Chambers. So what goals have you got, Natalie? What's coming up for Oh My Glow? What can we look forward to?
Well, we can look forward to growth. We have a really exciting growth strategy, and we're taking on a lot of ambassadors. So if anyone's interested in being an ambassador, please get in touch. So that's a really big part of our business. We have new products in the line, which will be coming out quite soon, and we have a few changes to our website, which is a really big part of the business. And then on a personal level, I am working on my own kind of long-term strategy as well, and where I see myself in 3 to 5 years. So I'm kind of prepping my own personal development on the side. So yeah, I think the most exciting thing for me will be seeing the company grow and what's to come with that.
Brilliant. And do you have an income goal at all? 6 figures, 7 figures?
6 figures. Six figures is my income goal for the next couple of years, and then limitless. Yeah,
brilliant. Awesome, Natalie. So can you share with us, before we go, what your social media links are again, please?
Yeah, my Instagram is at natalie.diver, and my business is at OMG Detox, and that's the same on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook.
Awesome, thank you. So Bex, for you, what is coming up? What have we got to look forward to?
So for me, as I mentioned, I just thrive on helping others. So for me, I just want to see other members of my team, and also people that haven't even met yet. I just want to get other people reaching that level of income and level of success where they just have more choices and freedom within their lives. I know by helping other people that also helps myself, so in the next couple of months, so short term, I want to be reaching that 6-figure income with definitely by the end of the year, and then as Natalie said, then it's limitless from there on. And what I love most about is how I'm growing as a person as well, the confidence, the belief, my mentoring skills, everything is just growing and increasing, and I just feel like I'm on like a really, really good journey at the minute. Just before I go, I'd like to just sort of share a little bit of advice to people. So if anyone is in a position where their business isn't quite where it is, or maybe they're looking to start something and they just haven't sort of had the confidence to give it that final push yet, I would just say always work true to yourself. Like Natalie said, you need to have a sort of theme that you go through, and you can't fake that. You need to build relationships with people, so you always need to be true to yourself. I would say set big goals. I think just as people and as we grow up, it's actually quite sad, when we're little, I'll speak to my boys about what they want to be when they grow up, no one, or what they want to have, no one ever says, oh, I want to have a little Fiat Punto. Do you know what I mean? They want to say, oh, I want the Ferrari, I want this, I want that. And it's as we get older that we put these like limitations on ourselves. So what I really like to do, and what I encourage people to do, is start to dream big again, because if you can dream big, then the magic starts to happen. You need to believe that you can do it, and you really need to connect to why you're doing it. And if you can work on those aspects, I really think you can achieve anything that you want.
Absolutely, thank you. I will completely echo that. It's really, really important to set your vision big and kind of shoot for the stars. Be clear about what it is that you want as well. Don't have a hazy, fuzzy vision of something that you kind of might half want. Put it out there specifically what you want, how much you want to earn, what you want to feel like, who you want to be surrounded by, where you want to be, what structures you want to have in your life, and really kind of go for it. Write it down, make it real, get it out there and go for it. Don't be scared. I'm sure the girls will say the same as me. If you need any advice, then do please get in touch. Bex, can you share your social media links with us, please?
Yeah, so if anyone wants to find me on Facebook, it's simply Rebecca Chambers. Drop me a message and let's connect. I am on Instagram as well, and it's MissBex_C. But if Facebook's probably the best way to connect with me.
Brilliant, thank you. So both of you are going to be live within the Upgrade Your Success program that we have just launched through nickpigeon.com. I'm so looking forward to starting that. We've got loads of women within the group that are either looking to set up a business, or they've already set up a business, and they're really looking to become the best person that they can be. They're looking to live their fullest life, and they're looking to thrive. Some of the ladies aren't entrepreneurs, but they want to live with an entrepreneurial mindset. They want to learn all of the mindset tools and tips and success secrets that we're going to be sharing with them. I'm coaching the course across 6 weeks, so it's a 6-module course where we're covering mindset, authentic leadership, we're covering positive emotions, strengths, what really makes a successful woman and a successful entrepreneur. So I'm looking forward to connecting with you guys within the Facebook group and through the course as well. My links are nickpidgeon.com, optimalu.com, and upgradeyoursuccess.com. And you can find me on Facebook, Niyc Pidgeon, which is Niyc, and on Instagram and Twitter, which is @NickPidge. So it's NIYCPIDGE. And I would just like to thank both of you so much for joining me for the Hangout today, and wish you all the best with your businesses. I know you are going to thrive and flourish. You already are, and you are set for huge, great things. So thank you, Natalie, and thank you, Bex, for joining us. And thank you for all of you guys for being here and sharing them this experience today as well. See you soon.
Thanks. Bye.
Bye.